this video we're going to look at the Jackery Explorer 1000 with no help whatsoever from them two. So if you've ever been on YouTube and you've ever looked at van life type videos or solar generators or power packs, you'll have definitely heard the name Jackery. They're everywhere. They've got a real good marketing campaign and they supply a lot of these to people free of charge to do social media reviews, as they have done with me. Jackery have asked me to mention a Jackery Day which is taking place on the 13th of May 2022, and they say this is going to be a spectacular event. So down in the description of this video is all the links to how you can be part of this event. Anyway, let's get back to the video. One thing I like to do is to put the solar panels on top of the awning, which gives it a good angle towards the sun. Obviously need the van in the right direction and gets them out the way. I think that works really well. You can obviously clip them down or tie them on if you think they're going to get blown away in the wind. If you do get the double solar panels, you should get this unit in the box with the generator. So that enables you to plug two solar panels into this linkage box, which directs it to a Anderson connector, which then just fits into the socket on front of the Jackery. And if it's not long enough, you can buy extensions for Anderson's connectors, not a problem. Another good thing with the Jackery panels is you get two USB sockets on there, a USB-C and a standard USB-A. So instead of needing to actually set the full unit up to a power supply, you can just actually use the panel and put your USB leads in there to charge your device. The question that everybody wants to know about these units, or any unit, is how much can it run? What can it run? Can it run a kettle? Can it run a toaster? Can it run a microwave? Can it run a hairdryer? Can it run straightening tongs? What can it run? So that there's a calculation to be done. So just for ease, if you say it's a 1000, so it's got 1000 watts. If you look on the device you're going to use and see how many watts that unit uses, so if your hairdryer uses 500 watts, this will last for 2 hours. If it is to use 250 watts, it'd last for 4 hours, roughly, because there'll be some more power used for a setup, and once it's at running at temperature it may drop down, and you can't use the full capacity of the battery. There's about 5–10% saved of the battery capacity. But that's how you calculate roughly how much power it's going to use and how long it will last you. Lots of discussion at the moment about the lack of gas that's around. And although this unit is only 1 kilowatt, 1000 watts, this actual induction hob here is a 2 kilowatt induction hob. But if you don't have it on full power, this is on about half power, and it's using 930 watts. So roughly this would last for an hour to run this cooker. So if you needed to, and you was out of gas, or it was a standby, or you wanted to cook outside, you could use one of these induction hobs to make a drink, cook a meal, but it would only last 1 hour if you was using it on this Jackery Explorer, because the power of this is only 1 hour. So we got about 930, 950, and it's getting warm. It'll easily boil the kettle. So there's a big advantage to this, particularly at the moment with the lack of gas around. And if you were looking to run induction hobs and electric devices like this for cooking, you would probably be better with a bigger unit. But the thing with a bigger unit is they obviously cost more money, and they're physically bigger in size as well. But as a backup, this Jackery is capable of running this induction hob to enable you to actually cook a meal if you run out of gas, or if you just want to cook outside. If you do run this too high and you use more than 1000 watts, it will allow you to go slightly over that for a period of time, probably about 2 or 3 minutes, and then drop back down, because some devices need a lot of power to start up and then they drop down again, things like slow cookers and stuff like that. But if you do go over and it can't cope with it, it'll just shut down, reset it to itself, and then you can use it again. It does do through charging, and what we mean about that is if you've got this hooked up to the solar panels and you've got 150 watts of solar going in, say, that will actually pass through the unit, and give you more capacity. So it allows you to charge this and use this power at the same time. There's a fan running in this and there's a fan running in that, so it's quite noisy between the two. Not over noisy. I'm not having to shout on the microphone or anything. I don't know how the microphone's picking it up, but it's certainly doable. It sounds like a max air fan or an extraction fan. And this kettle is just about boiling now. It's got about a cup full of water in. It's probably taken in total about 4 or 5 minutes. I'll put a link in the description below. This is just a cheap one off Amazon. I think they're between 30 or 50 quid, depending if you get some discounts on them. But a great little backup piece of kit if you run out of gas or you just want to cook something quick outside. And they don't take up much room either. And obviously easy to clean. This is a 150 watt air straightener. Jo likes to take these away with her in the camper van. Now it actually says inside that it uses 150 watts. But as you'll see on there, it's using nearly 300 watts. Because that's taking the time to get up to pressure. Up to pressure? Up to power. So now it's up to power, it's dropping back down on and off between 1 watt and then going up again to 150 watts to keep the power on. So yes, you can use air straighteners or this type of air straightener. These are GHDs, whatever that means. I'm sure the women out there will know what that means. But it can use air straighteners. And you can actually air the unit, switching off, switching back on, switching off, switching back on, and there'll be a thermostat built into these straighteners which is causing that. So it's not a constant power. And the other thing Jo likes to bring is a hairdryer. Again, this is a GHD hairdryer, and on this it says it will use 1800 to 201 watts, so over the capacity of this unit. So let's see how it goes. It's just gone up to 1300 watts and the unit's still running and the hairdryer is still working. But on mid power, which is probably best because you're not quite at capacity, it's running around 900 watts. So you can use a air power, high powered air dryer, even on full power, which is a surprise. Running a laptop, the most efficient way to run a laptop is to try to get yourself one of these 12 volt cigarette socket plug charging units. It's just plug in there, and they use a hell of a lot less power than this mains plug, but the power of this unit will easily run your laptop from your mains plug as well, and that's what a lot of people tend to use it for. So if you're working remotely, you can sit in the garden, you can sit on the beach, you can be out in your camper van, and wherever you have this unit, you can run your devices from there onwards. These are both Apple products. This one uses slightly more power, or quite a lot more power, than the actual 12 volt ones. So if you can get one of these, it's a good investment. Times on this unit from flat, from a wall charger it says around 7.5 hours, from the in-car car charger it's 15 hours, from a 100 watt solar panel it's 17 hours, so if you have 2 of them, half that, and you can run it from a generator, but I don't know why you would, a powered generator like a diesel or petrol generator for 7.5 hours, which is very much similar to the warm socket. So I suppose the generator just producing mains in the same way as you'd get from a wall socket. This is the standard setup to have the panels with the fold down legs on the back. If you've seen in some of my other videos, I love my e-bike. We live up in the middle of the North York Moors and there's some very big hills, and nowadays I won't get up them without an e-bike. So this is a battery at my e-bike, and it's running through its mains power unit. It's just charging here, as you can see, and it's using 150 watts, 140 to 155 watts. So if you was to divide that by the 1000 watt capacity, or slightly just under, that would tell you how long it would run this for and give you a charge in this. But this device here, obviously, if you charge it up before you go, you'll get a top-up or a number of top-ups for a battery, or a couple of charges out of that easily. Although the actual unit's made in China, like most things are nowadays, the actual company is in America. So it's 1000 watt. It says 1002 watt hours, so it'll be slightly less than that because it won't use its full capacity. There's all the specifications on the side. If you want to free frame that, you can pick up all the dimensions and power input and everything from there. Like all power units, it comes with a light, and it's got the obligatory SOS. It's handy, and why wouldn't you have it on there? It comes with an MPPT charger, so what that means is you can plug your solar panels directly into the unit. It comes with a 2-year warranty. In the box you get this like neoprene pouch with a charging unit in. There's 2 charging units, the cigarette lighter charging unit to a barrel connector, and the mains charging unit brick charger as well, with the same connector on, and a 3-pin plug. And it says it's a free gift, but it also comes with the double adapter to plug 2 of their Jackery solar panels into the unit as well, and that on the end of it has the Anderson connector. Nice simple straightforward display. Hopefully you can see this in the sunlight and on the camera, but it gives you a number of bars to show how much power is in the battery, and it gives you a percentage as well, and it shows you, goes off after a while, shows you how much power is going in and how much power is coming out. Most power units has vents on the side, and there are fans in these, and the fans do make a noise when they're using lots of power and get up to a particular temperature. When we talk about inverters, this has a battery inside, and that battery goes through a device called an inverter to produce this type of power, 3-pin power. And that inverter gets warm, and it's lots of capacitors and coils in that it uses to produce the, from DC, from direct power, to alternating current, which is like mains current. But it's got a good inverter in this, and it's got a pure sine wave inverter, and what that actually means is that the picture on an oscilloscope would be a nice roller coaster constant curve of positive and negative for the pulse of the power. And some of the cheaper ones have a digitized one which looks like a rock face, and the full pure sound wave ones are the ones you want because they're the safest for the computer and the best inverters. Just quickly show you this. I show this in a number of my videos. So what we've got here is, in back of my van there's a cigarette socket there which is linked to my Oco Tree lithium batteries, and there's a 320 amp hour battery there. There's obviously solar on the roof, and there's an array of Victron kit there. There's an MPPT, and there's a mains charger there as well for the battery. So this unit here is being charged through my lithium, which is taking power from the solar panels on the roof, 300 watts of solar panels on the roof. The input into this is 80 watts, and the output of this is 112 watts. And I've plugged this lead in, this is your general plug that you use on your campsite, into this, which enables me to run a main socket and the battery charger off this actual unit. And this is what I mean about the through charging. So the power's going in, it's taking it from my lithium battery in my van, the solar panels on the roof, and it's taking the power out of this back into the actual camper van to the battery charger. That's the end of the video. Jackery, great company, great product. The guarantee's good, 2-year guarantee, and you won't have any problems with speaking to their technical department. And they give you technical support backup as well, so even if it's out of guarantee, they'll still give you advice from the technical backup. Great company, American based, lots of marketing, endless amounts of videos on YouTube that'll go into very technical details. Hopefully this is give you some practicalities of how you can use the Jackery Explorer 1000. They do different sizes. They do a 250, a 500, a 1500. As you'll see, stuff all over the place. It's a lovely sunny day out there. There's 2 whippets waiting to go for a walk. Are we off for a wander?
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Say thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Bye.